Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video of Tony's Astro Journey. And today I thought I would do a video of the equipment that I'm using to do the different imaging projects that I've been doing. As you can see in front of you right here, I have two different setups here. I have a prime focus setup and a wide field setup. My main imaging camera is a Canon T6 or 1300D as they know it out in the rest of the world. But this has been a wonderful camera. I haven't done anything to modify the filter inside, the infrared filter inside, and it's been capturing these beautiful colors from the deep space objects that I've been looking at. So I'm very happy there. But let me show you what I got. I got a Vixen dovetail plate here. Set up, and basically that allows me to hook it to the DSLR so I can do wide field astrophotography just with the lens here, as you can see. And then I got a prime focus set up here where I put the T-ring onto the camera, and then from there I'll put my prime 1 1/4 prime focus adapter onto the T-ring and do my prime focusing imaging that way. I have this, let me see if I can show you here, but it's a Celestron zoom lens. It goes from 24 millimeter 18 to 18 millimeter. With this thing it's cool because it's got these threads that allow you to put it on the T-ring, and then I think from there I could do, take pictures or videos of the planets, because I think that method would be called eyepiece projection. I could be wrong on that, but I think it's called eyepiece projection astrophotography, and that's, from what I've learned, I think that's a good method for planetary imaging, and I'll get with you more on that later as I experiment with that. But right now, here's all the hardware for this, and let me show you the scopes. These are all refractors here. I actually started doing my main imaging with this Celestron Astromaster 90 refracting telescope. It's not terribly fast. It's an the f-stop is f11. But even with that, I was getting images of the Orion Nebula and the Andromeda Galaxy that were really, really cool. This scope here is, let me see if I can show you the back, is an Orion AstroView 120 EQ. This was gifted to me from a dear friend of mine. It's missing some hardware, but I plan to get the hardware and turn it into an imaging scope in due time. And then the next scope that we have is a Celestron here. It's a Celestron Nexstar 102 GT. And the f-stop on this one, I think, is, let me see if I can show you. Sorry, I got cables all over the place here. Is, we can't see it, but I believe it's a f-stop of 9.5, which is a little bit faster than the Astromaster 90. What's cool about this scope is, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a 1 1/4 focuser, and then what you do is you unscrew these, you take this set screw out, there's a couple of them, and it turns into a 2-inch focuser where you can use 2-inch prime focuser, prime focus adapter to put into the end of that and then image with that. I plan to get one of those pretty soon. I've been using the 1 1/4 prime focus adapter here from Celestron. But what I would like to do right now is pause for a moment, set up my prime focus rig, and show you what that looks like on the scope, on the mount. I'll be back in a minute. Hey everyone, I'm back, and here I have the prime focus set up with the DSLR on the T-ring, and then the prime focus adapter on the T-ring, and from there that goes into the back of the scope. This particular setup is for the 1 1/4 rig, but as you can see, if I were to take these two, let's see if I can show you a little better. There's two set screws. I gotta be careful, I'm walking over a cord here. But there's two set screws, and basically you take this set screw out and that set screw out, and then that allows you to put a 2-inch prime focus adapter in there, which would of course go onto the T-ring here. And all that of course connects to the DSLR. So with this current configuration, I have the Nexstar 102 GT on the mount here. I have not imaged with this particular scope yet. I've done some visual stuff with this scope, but I'm eager to see what the images look like on this particular refractor here. All this, of course, is mounted on to the Celestron Advanced Equatorial computerized mount here, which has been a great mount, by the way. As you recall, I did the unboxing for this about, I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So anyway, this is the prime focus setup. The next thing I want to show you is my wide field setup with this same camera. I'll be back in a second. Hey everyone, I'm back, and what you're looking at here is the wide field setup. Basically with the DSLR set up on the Vixen dovetail plate, and then which goes on to the go-to mount here. But if you want to do tracked wide field, this is the way to set it up. I got some really cool shots of the Northern Cross last Friday with it, and I'm really happy with this setup here. It works really well. So the next thing I want to show you is what's called eyepiece projection. And what I've learned recently is that that's good for planetary imaging, and I'll show you that next. Hey guys, one other thing I wanted to show you about the wide field setup was this smaller counterweight here. I got this 3-pound or 1.83 kilogram counterweight to properly balance the DSLR on the mount here. So that's one thing I wanted to make sure you saw, just to make sure that the balancing is correct on the mount with this kind of a setup. Okay. Anyway, one more setup to show you. That's the eyepiece projection with the DSLR on the star diagonal. Again, I believe this is the setup you want if you're imaging Jupiter or Saturn or something like that. I'll be right back with that setup. Hey everyone, here is the last setup I wanted to share with you. It's called an eyepiece projection configuration, where in my case I have a Celestron zoom lens, and let's see if I can show you the settings here. But as you can see, it goes from 24 millimeter all the way to, if I can show you that, 18 millimeter. But that's the eyepiece. In the camera, as you can see, this what's cool about this zoom eyepiece is that it threads right into the T-ring, which is on the DSLR. So this system I've learned about recently, and also have learned that it's good for planetary imaging. If it's good for something else, let me know. But when I experimented and tried it with deep space objects, I didn't really get anything in my field of view. I looked back here and I did my what's called live view on the camera, which is what I normally do when I'm trying to focus in bright stars. I'll put it on live view and then focus the bright star back here. But when I tried it this way, I didn't really get anything. So maybe it wasn't set up right. Maybe this isn't the right eyepiece. I don't know. But I've learned that this is called eyepiece projection, and that it's good for planetary imaging. More on that later as I learn more about that, but I wanted to share that with you. But this is the last configuration for this video that I wanted to show you in terms of what I've been experimenting with. and the hardware that I've been using, the scopes and the mounts and everything. I really want to thank you for watching, and if you like the channel, please subscribe, and as always, clear dark skies everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Tony's Astro Journey. More to come. Have a good one.